Hello and welcome to Oracle of the Divine Ophite. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. If you hear anything in this video that resonates with you, please like the video and share it with others if you feel so inclined. And today I'm going to be doing a combination channeled message tarot reading. This message is coming through from... I'm getting a spirit of the crossroads, someone akin to Maman Brigitte or maybe the Gede. These are crossroad spirits associated with cemeteries and very closely associated with death and transitions. So the message that I initially got was to present this reading in the form of two paths, because this is for somebody out there that's been having a little bit of trouble with choosing a path, and they're really at a crossroads point in life. And this is a very important point because this is going to really determine the rest of this person's life. So this may not resonate with everyone. It's a bit specific, but if you found this reading today, there's probably something here that can be of value to you. So let's begin. So what I did was initially I pulled cards into two separate piles, and the paths were laid out pretty clear for me. The path that you're seeing on your screen is what the crossroads spirit is presenting as being the preferred path. Really the path that needs to be taken in order for progress to be made in the situation. I'll try to explain the other path as best I can. So basically the path that's been tread up until now is a path of really clinging to outdated things, outdated situations, outdated beliefs, relationships. Everything has kind of passed its expiration date in regard to this path. And there's been a real resistance to let go and allow the transition and the transformation into the next form or the next stage of development, the next stage of life. This has been very disempowering for, whoever this message is for. This has caused a real feeling of disempowerment, a feeling of helplessness, a feeling, I got the Chariot in reversed, which is an indication to me that a person feels a bit out of control. They feel powerless. They feel like they're being pulled along by life's forces instead of it being the other way around. And that the reason that this is happening is because the person hasn't been listening to their own inner wisdom. They haven't been listening to their own instincts and their own gut feelings about what should be done in this situation. This is probably because there's been some sort of undue influence coming from outside, either through the form of a relationship or unsolicited advice, maybe pressure from family members or pressure from a spouse or a lover or friends. It could be anyone, take it how it resonates, but there's been a real handing over of power to others in life in general. And so the paths that are being tread or that have been followed up until this point haven't led to fulfillment or satisfaction, because the person is basically allowing their life to be dictated by others, whether that be situations or individuals. And so that's one path. And actually that path is being given as an option to continue. That path actually could go on for quite some time. I got the Death card in reversed, which is indicating to me that, even though the death of the situation, the change is being prolonged, there's nothing really, showing me that there's going to be a sudden ending to this, or that something traumatic is going to happen. There, the Tower didn't show up in the reading or anything like that. So it really does just boil down to a choice of whether to continue on in this way. This could go on for years, but the message that I'm getting from this crossroads spirit is that if if whoever I'm talking to, if you continue down this path, you will just continue to bring yourself misery and distress, and that feeling of helplessness, that feeling of hopelessness is going to go on and on and on, probably to a point where it will become so unbearable that something will have to abruptly change. So I'm kind of getting the vision in my mind that this could turn into a tower down the road if something's not done about it pretty immediately. There is definitely the potential for this to turn into a situation of, you know, real unpleasantness down a little bit down the road if something isn't done. So that's one path. One path is to, you know, just continue to grasp and hold on to these dead things, these things that, you know, need to be buried, need to be discarded, and continue to bring discomfort and misery onto your path and into your experience. The alternate path is actually quite a beautiful path. I'm getting that, you know, whoever I'm speaking to, you are a very caring, nurturing person. You are intuitive, you're intelligent, you have a fully activated heart chakra. You're very open to new experiences, you're open to new ideas, you're creative, and I'm getting a real message here that this has something to do with creativity and with expression of creativity. There's something that you've been holding inside for a very long time that needs to be expressed. And holding on to this other path has been preventing you from expressing that creativity and embracing life to its fullest. So your full creative, your full productive potential has been put on hold indefinitely because of the refusal to let go of this other less integrated, less aligned path. And this really does come down to alignment. You're at a point now where emotionally and psychologically you are actually at a point of full alignment. You know what you want and you know what you need to do to go after it, but there's some sort of an emotional attachment to these situations or these relationships that's keeping you from letting go. It could even be a feeling of guilt or a feeling of responsibility towards something that really doesn't belong to you, doesn't belong in your path anymore. Once you let go of those things and allow them to die, allow them to decay and transform into something new, you know, once you discover how to take new life from that death, your full creative potential will be ready to blossom. It will be ready to come out. And I'm also getting a very strong message here that this really is something that you have been thinking about. It's not like you're unaware that this needs to be done. This crossroads spirit just wants to remind you basically of what you already know. You've been really kind of resting on this for a while. You've been really contemplating and thinking, really, you know, mulling over what would be involved in embracing this new path and this new way of doing things. And the time for mulling it over is done. You need to just take action. You need to come out of that hibernation phase and really take action. And the thing that, you know, the thing about it is that it's going to be a bumpy road because you're going to be doing new things. You're going to be experiencing and doing things that you haven't done before. So mentally, it's going to be rough. I'm not going to lie to you here. It's going to be a little bit rough on you to start out with, mostly because you're just going to be bringing that mental roughness onto yourself because you're unsure. You know, there's a feeling of whenever you do something new, whenever you start something new, there's always a little bit of mental confusion or a little bit of, you know, you have to get your footing, you know. It's like you might feel a bit like you're flailing around at first and you don't really know what you're doing, but in actuality, you know exactly what you're doing. You just need to get used to doing things in new ways. You need to get used to new relationships. You need to get used to new and possibly new environments, new people, new creative outlets, new creative venues. Like take this how it resonates, whatever this might personally mean for you. But you just need to wobble around a bit until you become more sure-footed. And the best way to become sure-footed is through actually creating. You need to work at it. You need to just take those first steps, do the work, be creative, create the creation. And as you continue to create, you will become more sure of yourself. You will become more sure of the new path. Assistance will come in from people around you, people that you meet through your creative endeavor, through this new path. So everything that you need to succeed will come to you, but you are the one that has to take the first step. You're the one that needs to break out of the old path and the old ways and let those things die. Let that relationship die, let that job die, like whatever it happens to be. Once you do that, once you just start out on that path, the stepping stones will appear in front of you as you tread the path. And you need to get over that feeling of not feeling mentally stable in the path, not feeling, feeling negative, feeling like it's not going to work. Banish those thoughts from your mind, because that's just the old you trying to dissuade the new you from appearing, because the old you doesn't want to die. The old you wants to continue on with whatever you've been doing. I'm also getting a message that there's some sort of a partnership coming in for you. And this looks like a new partner. This looks like someone that's coming into your life. Definitely a soulmate. Definitely somebody that is there to assist you on this new path. It could be a love interest, but not necessarily. If this is resonating with you as, a business oriented or a creative oriented type reading, it could simply be a platonic partner that's coming in to help you in your business, or, help you in your creative endeavor, like someone that can contribute to what you're doing and, add to what's already there in order to bring everything to a full success and a full fruition. But it could be a romantic partner. So, you might be breaking off an old relationship that doesn't work for you, and pretty quickly you'll meet someone new. And this new person that you meet, you'll really, really resonate with them. You'll feel like you've met them before, because you have. And by the way, this goes for whether it's a business partnership or a love interest. This person, you will feel like you've met them before, because you have met them before. This is someone that you will instantly click with. They'll recognize you, you'll recognize them. It'll just be a match made in heaven, and they're really going to help you out. They're really going to make you feel happy, make you feel like you finally have somebody that understands your vision, understands where you're coming from, understands your wants and needs. So this person's going to provide a lot of, feeling of, freshness and newness, but also at the same time, a feeling of familiarity and a feeling like, the world is open, like all paths are open. The world is your oyster. They're going to be like a really valuable new part of this new path. So let me just get one more card, kind of get some advice, some final advice. So basically all you need to do is just be yourself. Your openness and your ability to adapt to the new is what's going to bring this new partnership in for you. So holding on to the old, grasping at old things, old ideas, old relationships, old ways of doing things, going to the same old places, doing all the same old stuff, that could actually prevent you from bringing in this new partnership, this new relationship, this new prosperity. So you need to really get into the habit of trying new things. Even just, if you always go to the same coffee shop, go to a different one. Just do things differently, do something different, because you need to bring in new energy. You need to bring in new life in order to initiate a new path. You are perfectly ready to do this. You have been ready for a very long time, and there's really nothing stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is just that kind of fear of the unfamiliar, or this, doing something, because you might have been doing this other thing, these other things, this other path you've been on. You've been doing it for a long time. It's very familiar to you. It's very comfortable. And that's why the spirit of the crossroads wasn't saying like, oh, you need to stop doing this right away because something traumatic's going to happen. It's like, no, you could just stay in this comfortable situation forever. But there's this dull ache that's starting to appear in your soul, where you just, every day is the same, and everybody's the same, and everything's the same, and it's kind of dragging you down, and it's dragging down your energy, and it's dragging down your creativity, and it's, it's not good for you mentally, emotionally, or spiritually anymore, because it's an outworn path. It's something that should have been finished a long time ago. Life is cyclical. So when we find things in life that we just, try to hold on to forever, life always has to kind of give us a kick in the butt to get us to move on to the next thing, because that is the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to move on to the next thing. So yeah, it's time to move on to the next thing. And basically, I think I'm just going to leave the message there, because it's a pretty simple message. I mean, there are two paths. One path is, and I pulled a last card on the other path just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. The old path, this is the outcome of the old path. So the outcome of the old path, I'm reading this as self-deception. I feel like I'm getting a really strong message in this other path, that it is a path of self-deception, where you're just, if you continue on the old path, you're lying to yourself. You're going to be lying to yourself. You're not fulfilling your potential. You're not moving forward in the way that you should be moving forward, and you can continue to deceive yourself infinitely. The cosmos will allow you to do that because you have free will. But, who would choose a path of self-deception and not being able to see clearly who and what they truly are, when you could choose this other path that's filled with creativity, partnership, happiness, nurturing, love. Ultimately, it will lead to adventure. All you have to do is get past those first bumpy steps, and it's going to really lead you into something beautiful. So I'm just going to leave the message there. That's I think that's pretty simple. Let go of the old, embrace the new path. Okay. So if anything about this reading resonated with you, please like the video and share it. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And also hit the notification bell so you know when I release new videos. And thank you for joining me today. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. This is Oracle of the Divine Ophite. And all blessings to you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.